Hey, so this video is a video request, and I'm going to start off by saying I wanted to thank everyone again for sending in video requests. I think they're fantastic. Again, if you're thinking it, then other people might be interested in it, and it starts a dialogue. Secondly, I want to say that this video request I find very humbling and intimidating. And I want to just preface that and mention too that by no means am I a psychologist. These are more just thoughts and based on experiential learnings. So I'm just going to dive into it. This viewer, Winston's mom, I really appreciate you taking the time to share your story with the community. I'm going to go in and just do some key notes on this. I'm going to paraphrase and I hope I get it right. The main topic starts out as she's a lady. She's older than me apparently, so thanks again for sharing your part as one of the middle-agers. But she's quite she's prefaces it, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna babble on this one because I really have a tough time. I think the central facet of this is that her best friend did not acknowledge both her birthday, that also happened to be in the same week as her daughter's birthday, who had passed away. And this is the part that I have such a difficult time because I cannot fathom what it feels like to lose a child. It's just horrible. So when I'm speaking to these points, I'm relating to only feelings that I have had about trauma in my life, not knowing anything about what you were going through as Winston's mom. But she goes on to mention that, yeah, she also is having difficulties because she sets kind of a barometer of whether or not she's doing a good job with her friends and friendships by whether or not they acknowledge her on special holidays. And I'm gonna make a note. She says in here, silly INTJ me is questioning whether she has changed her feelings, the friend has changed her feelings for me, or whether she thinks our friendship is not valuable. One small thoughtless moment and one huge amount of time doing analysis and overthinking again and again. So she goes on to say, CKMI overthinking. Now, it's tough because the two are kind of working off each other. The insane grief of losing your child is encapsulated, and it actually heightens every facet of maybe nuances between the relationships. And I know for myself, in trauma situations that I've had, I go into extreme sensing overdrive. I've talked about it in other videos, but the sensing side, when it takes over, it reads into everything. It looks at everything and analyzes everything more than normal. We usually operate at, the 100,000 feet level, looking at the huge, larger picture. And when we're in the weeds, it's sensing, we already feel that we are not in our normal zone on that, our comfort zone. It's so dark. And to compile that with with trying to make sense and move forward with such a horrific life event, it's tough. I know for myself, if I say, am in that type of mindset, and I'm going to tell you viewers right now, we can say all we want. We can be as solid as we want and make sense and be comfortable with ourselves as INTJs, as humans. However, these times, they don't just not come anymore. They're going to come up because life does throw you horrific things at times. And we hope we don't want to face that. But there are these types of situations. But for myself, I find I go into very high expectations of the people that are supposed to be there for me. And I interpret and actually I project onto them what I think they should be doing for me. And it's almost like a tightrope where an idea where you have to jump over this. So maybe a high jump where if the bar is set here and it's an invisible bar you can't see, but if you don't make it, I am going to put a lot of meaning behind that, both on who I am as a person and what our relationship is together, and potentially beyond what is necessarily there. This is regarding myself. So what I also wanted to note is I want to note with humanity, we're self-absorbed buggers. People, I'm not talking about the lady that I'm talking about here, but we automatically assume that people are caring about us all the time. And no, I shouldn't say it that way. That's not right. People do care about people. What I'm trying to get at is that people are all in their own grill. They only 99% of the time they're thinking of themselves. And people assume that other people are like looking at them and judging them and whatever, but the other people are just getting through the day. This lady makes a comment that her friend, the friend's daughter is getting married that week. So there could be, she already recognizes that there's an opportunity for oversight. And I think those, like for INTJs, it's kind of a path that is really difficult, because when we are trying to make sense in our sensing overdrive times, we don't know how to communicate that out. I know for myself, I've done videos on that as well. Like, I can't articulate, and I expect them to know. And if they are in their own minds and they're doing other things, I don't understand in how to be able to communicate that, or communicate my situation properly. I'm speaking about only myself. I don't know any of the backstory on this other than what was sent in the comment section. But I think that for myself, it's more the acknowledgement that I do recognize that it is, for me, a sensing overdrive situation. It doesn't make it easier at all, but it kind of tones it down, and it allows me to start turning back into the thinking mode, where it's like, oh, right, maybe I should have a conversation with that person, where it's just like, I'm feeling this way. I'm having a really tough time. And I don't know how to express it. And I mean, you can go so far for sure to say that you were, you know, wondering why you didn't get contacted. Actually, that's a great thing to start off with, because then it gives the other person a pinpointed situation where, as any good friend would do, would probably be like, wow, I am so sorry. I can't believe that happened. I apologize. I was up in my own head and not thinking, and that is unexcusable, and I apologize. But the opportunity, like if we're able to use our thinking caps, which is again hard when we're kind of dealing with such extreme trauma like this, we allow the thinking hat to also bridge the gap to find the answer to the question that we know in our hearts, most likely it was completely just an oversight, that person was just in their own stuff and not thinking and feels horrible about it. But then there's an ability to potentially, you know, rebuild that gap, especially if it's a person that is incredibly close. And this person, Winston's mom said, is her best friend. So totally want to hear or love to hear anyone's thoughts on this, or any experiences, or share any insights that they might have regarding this. I think it's a great, we're building a great forum here on some interesting and supportive dialogue for the most part. So I think this is a potential opportunity that others who have gone through this might be able to expand from this initial video. So thanks so much for watching, and as always, comments, video requests in the comment section. Thanks.